FarmIQ began as a government-funded program for red meat, and so we built software to join up the red meat value chain. Now that the PGP program is finished, we're able to take this technology to other sectors, and dairy is the obvious one. Dairy has needs that are at least as great as those of red meat, perhaps even greater, in terms of needing to connect its consumers with what's happening on farm. And the farmers themselves have perhaps even greater complexity in terms of managing people and managing their land and the environmental impact of that. And so FarmIQ can help them just as it's been helping red meat farmers. So the core functionality around land and people has been in FarmIQ for some time. We're obviously bringing new developments that will be specific to dairy farmers, for example milk recording and information around cows to some extent. But the core system, the base platform, is exactly the same, and dairy farmers are able to benefit from the massive investment that's gone into this red meat platform. Dairy farming's changing fast, so farmers now almost need a license to operate in many regions in the country. Irrespective of which dairy company they supply, there's real interest in what's happening on farm, and they need to be able to show sometimes regional councils, even in real time, what's actually happening on the farm, as well as showing their processor, all the inputs into that farm. And at the same time, farming is changing from a focus on productivity at all costs to a more sustainable model where profitability is trying to be maintained within an environmental cap. And so the information demands on farmers are incredible at this point, and they really need something to be able to pull together all that information to help them make better management decisions, but also to satisfy all the people who need to know what's actually going on that farm, and to actually join up their farm team with the broader team in the industry, like their farm advisors or suppliers. I think at the moment there's lots and lots of apps trying to do one small thing, and they often do that small thing well. But for farmers, there are so many apps out there now that it can feel like they're out of control in terms of not having all their information at the fingertips. For me, control is about putting a farmer in charge of all his information, having it in one place, able to relate one piece of information to another, having it perpetually up to date, and being able to see what's happening on the farm in real time, even if they're on the other side of the world at the time. So we've talked to a lot of industry players in the dairy space in the last few months, and we've been amazed at the warm reception we've got. The thing that people really like is the fact that it's an open, neutral platform. So it doesn't matter who you supply, where you buy your fertilizer, FarmIQ can work for you, and will connect to information coming from as many of those parties as are happy to share.